So I think that this notion of taking everything I've said from the networking capabilities, the data democratization, to the cybersecurity, to connectivity, to virtually any physical system, property, sensor, environment, and putting that into a format that other applications can, one, understand, and two, do something interesting with, is certainly the path we're on now and where things will go. We're talking about cloud computing, and why would you use cloud computing, and when would you run things at the edge? It comes down to a number of things, and it's where the CPU power is. What are the time critical tasks? We can get into obviously a long discussion about those ideas, but ultimately it comes down to what will facilitate those advances. What kind of technologies and products that people will understand and will involve the right processes to get implemented. And I think we're very close on that. And there's a lot happening. One guest that I believe you guys will have on towards the end of the month is going to be working, or will be talking about this notion of something called a universal PLC, a software-defined PLC. Not something that's purchased or acquired or whatever in the traditional sense, where you have to know all of your IO points ahead of time. You got to know what signals you're working with, but a system that might be able to be software configured to address any kind of application. So I think that there's going to be a lot of progress there. There are some instances of companies that have attempted to do this and had some success. Delta V comes to mind. And there's a few others, but they got to be cost effective. And that's where some of the challenges lie. So I think there's a saying by, actually a lot of people have said this, but software will eat the world. And I agree, when that software is running on the right hardware. And I think that's going to be, certainly where our focus is where that world is leading. And then once we get this data easily consumed by other applications, then we'll start to realize the promise of things like AI and machine learning, and being able to really fine tune our processes and increase productivity, increase safety. And I think that kind of comes into, well, what kind of people are going to do that? What kind of career path, let's say, is going to be able to take advantage of some of these things? And in my opinion, it comes down to software engineering in a big way. Opto 22 has been around 48 years, and we're largely a company of engineers. And a lot of those are electrical engineers, and of course, mechanical engineers. It was a mechanical engineer who built this thing, but double E's and MEs. But over the past 10 years or so, a lot of the engineers that work at Opto now are computer science degrees, or computer engineering, or software engineering. And it's because, we've kind of established what the CPU is, what the silicon is, what the ruggedness needs to be to survive in these challenging environments. And we've selected Linux as a platform that gives us amazing room to grow. Now we want to bring the right software people together. And so over the past 10 years, that's largely who we're hiring now, CS and software engineers. So I think, software is going to be a big part of where we're going. And the partnerships that we've created have been on the software side. So, if it's inductive automation, it's Cirrus Link Solutions, it's 3S software, CodeSys, those kinds of software capabilities, being able to run on a platform like ours gives our customers immense choices and capabilities that until now they've never. I mean, you think if you buy a PLC today, you buy the software for that PLC, and actually you have to pay for it in a lot of cases, and it's very tightly coupled. But what if you could buy a PLC and run whatever software you wanted to run on it, right? Wouldn't that be cool? I mean, I can buy one phone, but run all kinds of software on it. That's where I think we're leading to, strictly from a hardware and automation perspective in the world that we live in. That's where we want to get to. We want to be the smartphone of industrial automation in the sense of being able to run whatever software you choose to get your job done.